My fellow Guardians, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Slide Nation Shadowkeep guide video. And this reset has dropped us not only Festival of the Lost, but a brand new exotic quest for the Xenophage LMG, and on top of that, access to the long-awaited dungeon on the moon called Pit of Heresy, which is what we'll be looking at today. So in this video, let's dive into the Pit of Heresy and check out the very first encounter and what you need to do in order to clear this first section. Now first of all, make sure you grab the 2 quests from Erismorn and complete not only the one where you have to grab a tier 3 chest in Sorrow's Harbor, which by the way is the starter quest that unlocks the dungeon, but also finish Ariana 3. You might as well grab the exotic Xenophage quest while you're at it and complete it as well. If you need help with the Xenophage quest, I have a complete guide up on my channel. But anyways, once you unlock the dungeon, select it on your map and go ahead and head on in. Drop down into the pit until you come across your very first rally banner. Now this entire encounter, the very first encounter, takes place on this cliffside, which I personally think is pretty awesome. So drop down to the very first symbol you see, the closest one, and then head inside the tower right under the giant symbol. Every tower has a hive knight that you have to clear out, as well as a group of acolytes. Once you do that, the hive barrier that is blocking the door will then lift and it will grant you access inside of it. Head on inside and take notice of the 3 chains hanging in the middle of the room. There will be 3 hive runes hanging directly in the center of them. You have to travel to each of the symbol you see hanging there and kill a boss that is associated to that specific rune. So head back outside, look out to the distance, and head to the closest one of the symbols that you saw hanging. Now travel as a team in between the towers. There will be ogres and a giant sword knight in between each. The sword knight will drop you a hive sword, so one of the teammates pick it up while the other teammates snipe the ogres and clear the way. Now this hive sword is different than the one you're used to. It has a ranged heavy attack and it can also block. Each boss you encounter will have a weakness while being immune to just about everything else. There will be another hive knight with a shield, a witch, and a shrieker, those 3 bosses. Once you find out which 3 symbols you need to travel to, and again they're hanging up on those chains within every tower you enter, head to the closest one, kill the knight and the acolytes, kill the rest of the adds, then head inside. Once you're inside here, it's best to drop the sword and take out all of the adds as a team. Once you do that, it's time to take care of the boss. Now if you have the boss with a shield, you can only damage it with the sword's light attack and the sword's super attack. Everything else, including bullets, will register as immune. It's best to drop a well of light and just simply go to town. Kill the knight and notice that as you do, one of the hive runes disappears from the chain. Now you have to head to the remaining 2 towers associated with the symbols hanging off of those chains. When you see a witch, again drop the sword, kill all the enemies you can, then grab the sword before it disappears. Now it does take a long time for it to disappear, but don't push your luck here. Just grab it every so often to reset it. If it just so happens that it does disappear, just head back outside, look for another giant hive knight, kill it, and grab a sword. Once it's just you and the witch, you want to use your heavy attack on her. Once again, a well helps out tremendously here. Just keep using your right heavy attack. If your sword bearer dies, have the second teammate pick the sword back up and just keep going. Once the witch dies, it's time for the final tower and the last boss of this encounter, which will be the Shrieker. Just like the other towers, head on over, clear out the knight as well as the acolytes, which will then open the door. Head on inside, clear out all of the adds, and then once the Shrieker is by itself, have teammates leave the tower. You need the Shrieker to focus on the sword bearer only. Hold down the block button once it starts firing at you, which is going to be C on PC. As you're blocking, the Shrieker's own weapon will reflect off of the sword and back onto itself, which is the only way you can damage it. Once the final boss is down, head back outside and look for the giant pillar of light shooting up into the sky. You might have to use some of the lifts to get you there. Head on over, grab your chest, and congrats my friend, that is the very first encounter. This encounter really is not that difficult, and it was actually a very fun encounter to figure out. After you grab your chest, make your way to the Door of Dix. Now in this encounter, you have to jump through each one of these doors to find out which portal you need to take. Actually, don't listen to that, it's a complete troll, but it is something you could use on your friends the first time through. If you want to see why it's a troll, just go ahead and jump through one of them and see what happens. All you have to do for this area is to jump down on the bottom row and look for a crack in the wall in between 2 doors. Slip through the crack and then you're on your way to the next encounter, which takes a little while to figure out as the map is incredibly confusing and full of tunnels as well as a hidden chest. Now is this hidden chest worth grabbing? Probably not, but that's something we'll talk about in the next video. And yeah, that's it, Guardians. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching another Sly Nation Pit of Heresy guide. I personally love dungeons like this, like a lot. The first time through is a ton of fun, and they're not so high-strung, you know, like high pressure like day one raiding is, but still enough of a challenge to figure out, but not so much that it turned into like a multiple hour-long wipe fest. This dungeon is also surprisingly long and absolutely massive, as you will see soon enough. But anyways, I am out of here, Guardians. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting Sly Nation. I'll have the rest of the guides up here soon, so keep an eye out for that and many more Festival of the Lost and Shadowkeep guides. If you're new to my channel, then welcome, Guardian. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that this guide was not only easy enough to follow, but enjoyable to watch. Spank the thumbs up, but only if you enjoyed yourself, and subscribe for plenty more Destiny 2 guides. If you're bored out there and browsing around Reddit, watching cat videos, feel free to check me out on Twitter or Facebook, at Sly Nation, or Sly Nation Gaming on the FB. Take care, y'all, and keep those eyes open for more videos coming out of Sly Nation in the very near future. But until then, this is your dude Sly, and I'll see you guys in the next one.